Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 24th day of the Praise, Prayer and Fasting Crusade. On this day, Brother Theodore opened his session with an announcement that rejoiced the hearts of the brethren and uplifted their spirits.
The Ministry of Health has sent to the University of ZTF 146 students.
It should be noted that these 146 students are official holders of either the GCE Advanced Level Certificate or Baccalaureate. They are equally successful candidates of the public entrance examination organized by Cameroon's Ministry of Public Health. They have therefore been discharged to the prestigious ZTF University Institute in Betra for a 3-year training program which begins on November 17, 2025. This news was received with much thanksgiving to the Lord, accompanied by a song of praise.
What the Lord has done in our life is so wonderful. What the Lord has done in our life is so wonderful. What the Lord has done in our life.
Still in the spirit of celebration, Brother Theodore said he had told Papa Nico and Brother Alphonse that God will catch up with us. He continued to speak about the different ways people relate to faith and vision. He said, "Do you see how excited we are? It is because there is something tangible. But why do we always have to wait until we are embarrassed? Those who wait to see will always be late. Those who believe, see." He explained that there are several categories of people: those who believe and see, those who see and can prepare, those who understand and can execute, and those who see and can follow. He explained that those who believe are ahead, while those who don't believe are always behind. He reminded the people that we already have prophecies and that if we believe, we can see. As the message continued, the speaker explained the difference between spiritual work and intellectual work. Those who believe work spiritually, those who execute work intellectually. Those who follow don't engage either their minds or their hearts. He added that credulity is laziness.
The work of seeing,
Le travail de voir
is the most difficult
est le plus difficile
because it requires, like Moses, spiritual gifts, spiritual experience that are far above the average.
parce que ça exige des dons spirituels et de l'expérience spirituelle qui dépasse de loin le commun du peuple.
Using Moses as an example, he said that the work of Moses in the Bible was a work of seeing. Moses had to hear God, see in advance the tabernacle, the promised land, and the nation. To see the tabernacle, Brother Theodore explained, Moses needed a 40-day retreat with fasting. To see the spiritual nation, he needed many retreats. He saw the nation thousands of years ahead and even foresaw the coming of Christ long before it happened. Brother Theodore said, those who see must be very rich in the knowledge of God. He warned that many people pretend to have vision but do not have the knowledge of God, the required human experience and spiritual experience, or the time necessary to mature. Brother Theodore said, those who see must be very rich in the knowledge of God. He warned that many people pretend to have visions, but they do not have the knowledge of God, the required human experience, spiritual experience, or the time necessary to mature. He explained that the people the Bible presents as visionaries are people rich in personality. Moses was described as gifted, eloquent, learned, a prince, strong, and capable. Yet he also lived 40 years of humiliation, became a shepherd with a pagan wife, and lived with his father-in-law, unable to raise his children according to his own values. Through these experiences, he became rich in human and spiritual experience. He went on to say that God does not reveal what we could learn through study or human effort. God will not reveal to you what you have the possibility of learning through studies, nor speak to you about people if you have not taken the time to build relationships, he said. Revelations, therefore, concern what is beyond what our efforts can bring. Visions are for those who have worked their potential to the limit. He criticized people who fill notebooks with revelations while having done no real spiritual or relational work. He compared this with the book of Jeremiah, which documents Jeremiah's revelation and revivals over a period of 60 years. The messages that people receive, he said, God first writes them in their lives, and the pencil he uses is called pen. He wants that if someone's grandmother was a witch and they have a gift of divination, they should not call that vision. They first need to terminate with their past. Those who do the work of seeing are rich in spiritual experience and personality. God gives something to a man and to his children, and those who embrace what God has given but do not know what to do with it will hear from God. He said God does not give revelations to feed vanity or to make someone feel like a spiritual person. Sometimes God allows an experience to make himself real to a person, especially to prepare them for a period of trial so that they will not doubt his presence when surrounded by hatred. There are revelations that prepare us for crisis, he explained. God wants to give many revelations to those who are faithful to what they already know. He emphasized that the work of seeing is costly and not for everyone. Brother Theodore identified 4 kinds of spiritual work: the work of seeing, the work of understanding, the work of following, and the work of revealing. He asked the brethren, "In which category do you find yourself?" Then he invited everyone to pray that they will not project themselves into a place where they are not. He asked the brethren, "In which category do you find yourself?" Then he invited everyone to pray that they will not project themselves into a place where they are not yet. He said that when we make some progress with God, we begin to understand others. People often despise the work of others because they have not walked with God to understand how he walked with them. He said that when we make some progress with God, we begin to understand others. People often despise the work of others because they have not walked with God to understand how he walked with them. He then led the brethren to pray that we should believe what God has already given us, and that as we obey, God will take us beyond what we already grasp. Brother Theodore shared a personal experience from his travels. After returning from Nigeria and touring Cameroon, he often asked the Lord about his plan for each place they visited. The Lord would tell him to write down what he wanted for each area, and he would share it joyfully with the people there. Later, a brother told him that what he had said was exactly what Brother Zach had already said about those places. He replied, "Was I living in Yaoundé? Have you forgotten I was a missionary in Nigeria? If you do not know and had no way of knowing, know that God speaks to his servants, but do not put the Lord your God to the test. If you are truly in need, the Lord is near." He encouraged everyone to pray that the Lord will help them believe what has been received for their ministry through painful spiritual work. He then concluded by calling for a higher level of holiness, obedience, and hard spiritual labor.